What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the ABJ Podcast. Rolling along here. Full disclosure, this was recorded. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this, it's because we are now officially the national champions of the world. No, I have no idea whether they're playing Penn State as we speak. It is the 9th of January. I'm just backlogging a bunch of content today, and I was wearing a different shirt on a different podcast, so I just threw this on top so it doesn't look like I'm already ruined the veil. But anyway, today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. We almost forgot to hit record because we were chatting so much beforehand. But before we get into any of that, make sure you support my links below to support me and follow me on all social media and the podcast, as well as my guests. We have t-shirts and stuff available. The ABJ Podcast logo for season 3 is available, as well as the ABJ logo. So go check those out, as well as support and follow along. YouTube, we're trying to hit that 10K subscribers over on YouTube. So if you are watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it may be, head over to those platforms and just give it a little button press. It doesn't take much effort, doesn't do a lot, but it helps out more than you know. My guest today is a professional wrestler, a singer, a musician, a skateboarder, a handsome man. Let's bring him in right away and get this going. What's going on, bud?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am super excited for this one.
As am I.
It's really fun because you meet people in the world and just their energy or their vibe or whatever it may be is like, man, I don't know what draws me to this person, but I really, really like them. And I had that my very first wrestling show without even meeting somebody. And it was a family member of yours.
Oh, God.
We would all know him as Sean Carr on the scene.
Who's that?
Yeah. I seen him perform and I was like, this is what, like, I didn't know people were this good on the independent scene. Like he was my first wrestling fan. I was like a fan first. And then I got to meet them and meet him, talk to him. I like fell in love. I was like, this guy's everything I would want as a human. Like, he's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Years later. He's also a really good heel too. Yeah, also a very good heel. But also he was a heel that night too, and I loved it. Then I go to a show with my intro music creator, Billy Trey, the Converse kid. That's his music.
Yes.
I seen you drumming in the beginning.
I love Billy.
And we go to see your band as well as a wrestling show. And I was like, yo, this kid's music is really good. And then you wrestled. And I was like, he's fucking good in the ring. And then I'm like, he's also related to Sean. I was like, this makes sense. This is why I like this kid.
Oh my goodness.
It's a good upbringing. So whoever your family is or whoever's in charge of all of that, kudos to them.
I don't think anyone's in charge. That's probably why it's a success. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good mom, a good grandmother, what's going on over there, but it's
mom was the coolest for sure.
Yeah, your whole family unit is an amazing family unit. I got to meet a lot of them at that show that day, and it was beautiful. And that was like the spark of us meeting each other. It was your very first wrestling match too, and you knocked it out of the park. I was like, you did stuff in that match that people don't do that early in their career. I was very impressed.
I appreciate that. Like it was cool because I took the wrestling part of that show very seriously. Like I wanted to train and I wanted to like not look like dog shit completely. But
so
I took it serious.
Going into it, there Billy was like the one member of the band, his uncle wrestles and he wants to wrestle with his uncle before the show and he wants to do. I'm like, oh, so it's like one of those like celebrity appearances, and he's like, yeah. I'm like this could either be horrible or really fun. And then when I got there and realized who the uncle was and the whole situation, I was like, oh, this will be just fine. Yeah. And it was. Sean's my cousin. He's my older cousin. Oh, sorry. I kept saying uncle. The age gap.
It's okay. Yeah. Thank you. He's very much older than me. I'm very young. Sean definitely took me under his wing and trained me a lot for my first wrestling match. And I'm very proud of that still because, like you said, it could have gone very, very badly. But I was definitely well taken care of. Our opponents, Axel Lennox and Garrett Holiday.
Very good,
so much fun. Oh, love them both. Very much, very fun to work both of them. And it was just such a fun time. Like, I always had the idea of wanting to put on like a music and wrestling show, and to be able to play music and wrestle on the show was so much fun. And It's cool that I just kept going to training after, and then they just started putting me on shows. I'm like, all right, sick, let's do this. So,
are we gonna get another Suitor Mania anytime soon?
I want to so bad. I'm really hoping we get a Suitor Mania or a Suitor Slam or a Survivor Suitor, something. We got to do it this year.
If they come back, anything you need from my aspect, I would love to be a part, whether it's filming, whether it's commentary, whether it's just covering the event. I did Skook Stock, and the next event that was supposed to come after Skook Stock was going to be Skook Mania, and I wanted to do wrestling and music together. And then you did your thing, and I was like, man after my own heart.
Yes, it's so much fun, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's such a great time. And it was so cool because especially the first one we did, like, I feel like there was a lot of people from both worlds and like a lot of people who maybe never saw wrestling, and some of the wrestling fans who probably never saw local bands before. And it was just such a fun experience, and everyone really seemed to enjoy it. And there was a real fun sense of community, and I loved that. And it was a lot of fun.
Most wrestling shows that mix people up like that, whether it's a brewery event that puts like Pilgaroo, like they do their brewery bands and then a wrestling show, and it's just a bunch of drunk people who are there for craft beer, and then there's a wrestling ring, and then they just surround the wrestling ring after a couple of craft beers, and they lose their minds. They're like, oh my god, I remember being a kid and being into this, and are people who go to see a band and they see wrestling and they're like, oh, this is so much fun. Like
absolutely.
Yeah. It's a good way to bring new people together and mixing different arts and realizing they're all one and the same.
Absolutely. And that's why it's cool. Like, I know like, there's always the one in Buffalo that I believe the Better Lovers have their festival up there where they do music and wrestling. And I know Andy Williams, the Butcher, he wrestled, and I think his band Atomic Rule, I think it's his new band, they played. Just how cool is that, man? Like just bringing those worlds together and just having that camaraderie between them. It's fucking awesome.
Are you aware, or I hope you're aware, if not, I'd be heartbroken. Are you aware of Ultramanus Black?
No.
All right, so Ultramanus Black's an old Chikara guy, and he still is on the scene. He wrestles. He's very mysterious. He lives that parts unknown character. Like there's people who know him who've never seen him without his mask on, but he's also the frontman of a death metal band.
Love it.
And he does a lot of shows where he'll be on stage in his lucha mask singing, and then get in the ring and put a barn burner on.
How, dude? All right, after this, you have to send me his band and everything. Yes, please catch me up.
I think it's just called Ultramanus Black. I think it's his whole thing. Like I could be wrong with the band name, but I was at a show where he came out and he gets in the ring, his band plays him to the ring, and then it kind of stops for a second, and then the band just hits and starts playing again, and they just wrestle the whole time with the band in the background.
How?
It was awesome.
Chef's kiss. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like that's just so insane.
I made a joke on a previous podcast of like who's frontmen in bands, but also wrestlers. That would be a fun like matchup. And I said you and him would be a fun match because you're both in those industries. I always thought it'd be cool.
Oh my god, that would be a blast. I honestly cannot wait to look this up after this. This is so much fun.
we gotta do one or two things: either musicians who are wrestlers in the ring fighting each other, or make a super group, almost like All the Damn Things, where they're also wrestlers but they form a band.
Yeah. Oh my god. There has to be like a gigantic like music. It would just be a giant band, really, though. This whole faction of musicians, they'd all just start playing music instead of wrestling, probably.
Yeah, it'd be great. I think that'd be super fun. It's like, oh, these 5 wrestlers all play different instruments, but they also wrestle, and they're gonna form a super group for a one night thing.
It's like the freaking Power Rangers or something.
Yeah. They do that at Strikers every now and then. They haven't done it in a while, but like other bands, not wrestling related, we're gonna bounce back and forth between wrestling and music.
No, I figured we are. It's absolutely okay.
But like Mahantongo and all those guys and a bunch of other bands from our area, they'll break up the band but they'll not play with their normal band, or they'll have pieces of their band, but then bring in other members of other bands, and it's a Halloween show, but they'll do covers of other bands.
Awesome.
So like half of Mahantongo and half of Bad Maggie did a My Chemical Romance set, and then this band and this band did a Taking Back Sunday, and this band did Tool, and it's all our Deftones or something. Yeah,
they do that at Strikers.
They were doing it every Halloween. Eddie Collins was doing it, but then I don't know. They haven't done it in a while. But it was a lot of fun to just it was like a mismatch of all these different musicians. Billy Trey did it with somebody, and they did Weezer, because obviously Billy looks just like
of course he's Rivers Cuomo.
Yeah. But it was a really fun time. I just like seeing people collaborate like that, and
that's really fun, especially
yeah.
like the whole like just combining different band members and stuff like for a night, like that's really cool.
All right, well let's dive into this. We'll stick with the wrestling one on this one. If you want to throw music in there as well, you're more than welcome to. But when did you fall in love with the world of professional wrestling?
Oh my God, I grew up with pro wrestling. I'm sure Sean could vouch. We got in trouble a lot growing up wrestling, for sure, as kids. Me and my cousin Chris specifically, they had a trampoline in their backyard. My cousin Chris and I would find out how to get onto the roof. This is like probably like 8 and 10 years old, and we would like do swanton bombs onto the trampoline, and we'd get in trouble with our parents a lot. So ever since I can remember, we were watching wrestling. Our parents would take us to the live events at our local arena. I remember falling asleep before intermission when I was like 5 years old and waking up to like, oh, Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog. Like, how cool. Like, and then, but I was there.
Yeah. First
off,
you fall asleep for a Shawn Michaels match?
I know. Dude, let's be real. I wanted to. The only reason I wanted to go when I was 5 years old is so I could get the cool Bret Hart sunglasses. And then I was like,
of course you're a Bret guy. Of course you are.
Yeah.
That's
of course I'm a Bret guy.
Terrible.
I know. I'm the worst.
That's the biggest rivalry. Are you a Bret guy or a Shawn guy?
It really is, honestly. Oh my goodness.
So obviously, like Shawn goes on to make a career out of this and do this, and then you kind of went that music route. How did you said we kind of talked about the second suitor thing? How did it even come about to be like, I want to actually try to get into the business myself?
Oh, it was, I grew up watching Shawn wrestle too. Even like when Shawn got into wrestling, like I was at the shows. I'm like, how cool is this? There's wrestling at the American Legion that my band plays at. Like, how cool. And so it was kind of cool. We had these parallel worlds growing up. And then when I had the idea to do Suitor Slam, which my band Second Suitor put on, music and wrestling show, and I wanted to be a part of the wrestling as well. And Shawn allowed me to train, and he definitely whipped my ass into shape and got me ready for wrestling. And it was just, it didn't feel real until like, oh my God, like I'm actually in a wrestling ring, like on a show right now of some sorts. And I don't know, it was just wild to get into a ring. And then I just kept continuing to go to training, and they started putting me on shows, and I just keep showing up, and they haven't kicked me out yet. It's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, you definitely shocked a lot of people. You did a lot of cool stuff. You're like the local Logan Paul. Like you're like, how is this actually gonna work out? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think I'm that much of a douchebag. Don't let the coat fool you.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that there wasn't a lot of expectations of like, can he do this business? And then you went and pretty good match on.
Very much could have not gone that well, but like I said, like, you know, the guys in the match, amazing, definitely took care of me, and I'm so happy to still be doing it. It's awesome.
I remember telling the people I came with, I was like, don't get gassed up with this. Like that, what he did is not normal. Like that's not. I've seen people who've been wrestling for years who did not put a match on that clean. Like that was a home run. Like that was unbelievable. Like,
thank you so much. I appreciate that sincerely.
I don't want to bring negativity or anything like bad about it, because it's not. But wasn't there also an element of you guys just lost a family member recently around that time too? Yeah.
So the first time I even gotten to go into a wrestling ring, unfortunately, yes. A few years ago, my mom passed away, and kind of as like a family coping kind of day, Shawn invited all of us to go kind of hang out in the wrestling ring, because he knew all the cousins always wanted to, and, you know, just to kind of roll around, see what it was actually like. And it was just one of those cathartic experiences where all of our family got to have fun, pretend to be wrestlers. And then me and Shawn, he kind of showed me some actual wrestling stuff, and I think he realized like I was taking it kind of serious and kind of picking it up a little bit, like even just on this first time of ever being in a ring. And I think that kind of gave him the confidence to let me train to actually put on a match for Suitor Slam. And I know I get, you know, I'm Sean Carr's cousin, but I always like to feel that I'm earning everything. And
you
I
totally
never
are. 100%.
I never want to, you know, I know Sean's my cousin. I joke about that. I'm like, I don't care. Like, like the days I'm at training and he's not, I'm like, I don't see him here. Like, I'm here. Like, it's, you know, so I know there's a stigma with that, and I think some people kind of don't take me as serious, and that's fine. I'm there to have fun and put on the best show I can, and that's what I aim to do every time I'm on a show.
Yeah, your work ethic, whether it comes to your music or your business of your t-shirt printing or just your social media grind, I think definitely makes you like, I don't see, like, obviously my introduction to you was being related to Sean, but ever since the day you stepped in the ring and I watched you wrestle, which I'm very happy that like I took the initiative, like, I'm gonna film this because I feel like I'm looking around, I'm like, no one's filming this. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. But
I appreciate that.
yeah, I was like, because that's like, it was like a cool moment. Like I kind of learned about like there was a passing and this is a big moment, not just for you, but your family and your band and everything. And I was like, we're definitely gonna put this on film so this can be remembered. But even when you started training and started doing what you're doing, like your promos where you would get your guitar and just do acoustic versions roasting your opponents, and
I need
like
to get back into that.
Yeah, like you stood out. You're good at what you're doing. You're combining all your interests together, and you're knocking it out of the park. You're doing a really, really good job.
Thank you. That truly means a lot to me, man. Like, sincerely, I appreciate that very much.
So what type of kid were you growing up? Were you always into sports? Were you always into music? I know you skate a little bit as well.
Oh yeah. I was a huge football fan, still am, obviously. I'm not a Notre Dame or Penn State fan. But
who's your college team?
I'm a Syracuse fan.
Okay.
Which has, it was fun for many years. My parents and I would try to go to one Syracuse football game every season, and we would always go. They would always lose. Like, never did I see them win in person. It was awful. And then one year, my uncle happened to win tickets like the night before a Syracuse game, and he asked my dad and I to go with him, and we did. And it happened to be the game that Syracuse upset number 2 Clemson.
Wow.
Yes. So it was like total redemption moment. We got to see Syracuse win that game. I ran onto the field. I didn't care. Never ever going to run on this field ever again. This is crazy. And Syracuse just upset the number 2 team in the country. So yeah, I'm a Syracuse fan.
My dad goes to a lot of Syracuse games. He lives up in he bounces between Pennsylvania and upstate New York because he lives up there for his job. He's always sending me, like, he'll get like just random tickets through his job and he'll be at Syracuse games.
That's great. I know, it's so much fun. The Dome is such a fun experience. I think so.
Yeah. So did that translate well, just always kind of being athletic, to getting your first steps in of professional wrestling?
I think so. Probably just because even, being in music and whatever and playing sports growing up, but like I've always kind of enjoyed, exercising to some extent. And, I work out 6 days a week with my dad in our basement gym that we have built through many years of learning what we need and how to do it in our basement. And it's so much fun. And yeah, I think that definitely helped me with having the confidence to actually try wrestling, because I knew I actually had some athleticism to me, and definitely through skating a little bit too. Yeah,
that's an interesting dynamic. I was just realizing that too. Like skating, you almost have to learn how to fall so you don't hurt yourself. Like, how much did skating bumps coincide with each other?
There's a lot of times, like, getting like dipped off an apron or something and taking that fall to the outside. Like, it reminds me of like falling off your board trying to ollie a 6-10 or something, or so it's like, it definitely, I didn't want skateboarding to teach me how to fall, but it definitely did teach me how to fall growing up for sure.
Yeah. It's like Darby. It's like Darby takes bumps that like naturally don't look like they're good, but it's like, that's probably how he falls on a regular basis. His body's pretty much used to it. Like he knows
how to like contort and roll certain ways and use momentum. It's like being a professional stuntman in that regard,
Really, it really is. Yeah, totally. So how was it finding your spot? You said, obviously you're living in a little bit of a shadow, but you're also coming in with your own brand. Like you're kind of entering wrestling with an established brand when it comes to you as a person, as your musician, as your everything that you have going on yourself. How has it been navigating a new realm of professional wrestling where you kind of are forging your own path?
Honestly, it's been awesome. And I think more so than anything, like just being myself in wrestling has helped me like elevate just who I am as a person. Like even in music, like having more confidence and like having that stage presence and like just having the confidence of knowing that I'm good at what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just really weird. Like I think the wrestling has helped in my other aspects of life, just having the confidence of like I can do this, like this other stuff's easy, man. Like, you know,
when you learn the world of carny of wrestling, everything else becomes second nature.
Oh yeah. And the parallels of the music world and the wrestling world, it's all the same industry in some regards. It really is. I'm sure you know.
You have to learn how to protect yourself in many different aspects.
Yes, absolutely.
What are some setbacks or adversities you've overcome? In general, it could be wrestling, music, whatever it may be.
Well, 2.5 years into wrestling, I've had 2 pretty decent injuries already. I cracked a rib. That was fun. And I played a show the next day with my band. I didn't know my rib was cracked. I definitely hurt, but I didn't know it was broken. And the next day, my band drove from Binghamton to Oneonta, New York, and played a show and had a blast. And then I think I went to training the following week, and someone was like, "Hey, there's like a bump like sticking out of your back. Like you probably shouldn't be here, and you should probably go to the hospital." So I did, and had to take some time off for that. Unfortunately,
was the bump your rib?
Yeah, it was like cracked, and like there was like what is it like? It starts to like build like a callus around it. It was weird. It was kind of gross, but it's all healed now, I think.
Yeah. Now your injury, was it like in a match, or was it like a freak accident?
I was wrestling this one guy. I don't know if you've heard of him, Sean Carr.
He hurt you? That bastard.
Yeah. Sean, he kicked me out of the air pretty good, and he got my rib, and
he's got dangerous feet.
Yeah, he also in the match took my shoe off and beat me with it.
As you self-proclaiming you're a Brett fan, you probably
yeah. Well, and he gave me a pretty good black eye with his shoulder. I did beat him that match though. So.
Oh.
So I have that at least. I mean, he got to wrestle the next show and I didn't, but who really won?
Do you have crossover between the music and the wrestling? Do you have fans who come and see your band, but then also come and see your matches, or people who didn't know you weren't like people who see your band and then say, "Oh, he's also a wrestler," and go experience that world? Like, do you have that crossover yet?
Yeah, there's been a few people from the music world who have definitely checked out wrestling shows, and I think that's incredible. And they've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and vice versa. There's been a few people from the wrestling world who have come to my band shows, and I love that. I love seeing those worlds kind of check each other out and then coexist. And it's like, you know, like the Suitor Slam thing, like bringing those worlds together, but not on a festival. And it's cool that people have taken the initiative to like learn and want to experience the other thing that I do. Yeah.
It's funny. I went to go see, I didn't pay for it, thankfully, but I went to go see a Fozzy show. It's funny how many people were there just because they're fans of his wrestling and not even like So Jericho, if you listen to this, you're one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So I'm not trying to come off completely negative, but there was people in that crowd who treated Fozzy like they were Led Zeppelin, and they're not. They're very decent, like they're fun, but it's just they're very decent. There was an opening band, Royal Bliss, that probably should have been the headliner, but one's Chris Jericho and the other one's Royal Bliss. But yeah, Royal Bliss was very Crowbody. I was like, this is like Crowbot. Like, I like this band a lot. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But the whole time they're trying to chant wrestling things at Jericho. He's no selling it. Like, he almost doesn't pretend that they're one and the same. Like, he won't even play into it. Like, what are you guys talking about? I don't know wrestling. I'm just from Fozzy. Yeah, but when he needs it to coincide, he will. But if you're at a show and people are chanting Y2J or something like that, he'll no sell it. Like, he won't even acknowledge that people are holding signs like a wrestling show at the concert. Like, he's like, I don't know what that is, man. Yeah, what the fuck is that? You guys want to hear Judas? Yeah, we're saving that for last. Yeah, of course we are. No one sang along the whole night until that song. And then the whole place was
blew up probably.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
They played Stairway to Heaven and the place lost their mind.
Oh my God.
That's their Stairway to Heaven, I guess.
Yeah, it certainly is. Oh my God.
I went to London for All In and Judas played. I was like, this is the only time that this band will play in this arena. They will never sell out or have a Wembley crowd. So he's taking it as he can get it.
Absolutely. Hey, he can say they played Wembley. How insane is that?
He totally can. They played 45 seconds of Wembley. Yeah.
Hey, man, I'd take it.
I would too.
100%.
Next step, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's
right. So this one here is, I'll ask it from just a standpoint of wrestling and music.
Sure.
Have you felt like you've hit a peak at all in any of your careers or your paths, or do you feel like you're on the trajectory of doing so?
I think if I were to be honest, I would say music probably, but I think there's so much, like, I don't know. It's easy to feel left behind in the music world. I'm sure it is easy to feel left behind in the wrestling world as well, but I've been doing music since I was 13 years old. I'm 20 years into the game now, so there's definitely times where I feel like it maybe left me behind, but I'm never going to stop trying. I'm never going to stop playing because it's who I am and it's what I do. And without it, I don't know if I would have much more of a purpose in life. I've dedicated my life to playing music, and the old band cliche, doesn't matter if there's 2 people, 200, 20, 2,000, I'm going to play, and I'm going to have the time of my life doing it. So, yeah.
Do you ever have a conflict where people maybe like the wrestling more than the music and you wish it was vice versa? Or do you kind of just take them both as what they are?
I honestly, as I've gotten older, I just take them both as what they are. I just appreciate being able to do it at any level. You know what I mean? I'm always going to strive and push myself to take it farther. And, always at a new year, I'm always get excited again. All right, it's a fresh start. What are we going to do this year? And, I definitely have plans to write and record and put out new music with my band. And as I say, every time I release music, I hope it's the best stuff that I can make and put out. And same with wrestling. I just, keep training, keep doing whatever I can to get better. And you never know, just have fun and enjoy what you're doing. And then that's a win in itself,
How do you juggle both? Because obviously they both take, I say that they take a lot of time, practice, effort. You just to be in wrestling, you need to be, we'll just use a music term, tight. You need to be because if you're not, you could hurt somebody. But then also, if you're putting all your time into wrestling and you're trying to make that craft good, you're missing out on time with your band and making sure the timing and everything is there good. Or you go to a wrestling show and you get kicked in the rib and then you miss a show that you're paid to be on a gig where 4 other people need you to be there. That's a tough thing to manage.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but you do it because you love it. That's what, I definitely make time to relax and chill and catch my breath sometimes now. I'm getting better at that as I'm getting older because I need to. But yeah, there's definitely times I kind of, I'll get really into the swing of wrestling when I have a lot of, I know there's 3-4 shows coming up that I'm 100% doing something on. Cool. Make sure I'm giving all my focus and attention to this. And, then there's times where I'm like, cool, my band has a 3-day weekender and I definitely want to be super tight for that. Let's make sure we're dedicating enough time and energy to make sure I can put on the best show and that our band can put on the best show we possibly can.
Yeah.
So
have you ever had conflict with your band where the band ever was like, hey man, I think you're putting too much time into this and not us? Has that ever been an issue or anything you've had a conversation?
No. And, it's cool too. Cause the other 2 band members I have, Mr. James, Mr. John, they both have other bands that they have as well. I know James has a few other projects. John has another band that he does. So it's these dudes kind of stay busy and active, especially when I'm doing more wrestling stuff, which is really cool. And, it's cool. There's been nights too, where I've done double duty and, done a wrestling show and then played a music show.
You're double booked.
Yeah,
I double booked in two different industries. That's awesome.
I did. It was great. The one night, The one big name I've ever really been in the ring with, me and Sean tag teamed against Axel Lennox, and we faced him. His tag team partner was Gangrel that night.
Oh shit!
And, and we wrestled that match, and I didn't even change. I just I grabbed my stuff, got into my car, drove across town to my side of town where my band was playing at a bar that night. I probably had like 10 minutes till we got on. My band had my shit all set up. Got on stage and had my kick pads on and everything.
You wrestled in full gear?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, not wrestled, performed.
Oh, yeah. I had played the show in full gear. I think I still had wrist tape on, too, until like I was like, oh, yeah, I can't, like.
Now, how sick would it have been if I would have been like, all right, listen, Gangrel, I know you got shit going on. Could you come to my show? Can you just come on stage and spit blood in the air?
I know. Like, dude, you could fucking miss me. I don't care. That'd be insane. Like, let's do it. I don't even care if the bar doesn't like it. They're gonna, once they know you're Gangrel, who gives a shit? Like,
yeah,
let's go.
I seen him at a show maybe 4 years ago, and it was like a fucking wooden floored mat, like no protection, and he took a back bump that he had no business taking. And I was like, goodness. What a psycho. Like, good for him. Like, still putting people over and killing it. Yeah, I've always been a big Gangrel. I was a huge fan of his ex-wife too. I was a huge Luna Vachon fan.
Yeah.
Love Luna. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Gangrel is super cool too, man.
Do you guys ever mess around and play like entrance wrestling music during your shows?
Absolutely. We've definitely tried to do like, like the DX and everything like that. If I really want it, it's terrible. But of course I know the one awful guitar riff that would make any wrestling fan go, oh. So I've gotten a laugh with that one a few times. But yeah, we have fun.
When Tyler's on stage, because I know he's a giant wrestling fan, or a lot of Bad Maggie are wrestling fans, I'll yell like Batista, and they're like like they'll just like they'll are only like Malachi Black, and they'll play like that like
we used to do that one, his old intro, the Root of Evil or whatever.
Yeah. Some of the music is really fucking good. Like the Undisputed Era is still one of my favorite fucking.
Yeah, it was always so fun though, watching like the reaction in the crowd when like my weird little pop punk emo band would just start playing like "No Man Is Ever Truly Good," and then people were like, "Wait, what is this band playing? You guys sounded like Green Day 2 seconds ago."
It's crazy, the music and the wrestling colliding. So in my Discord, I became really close with this family from Australia. Raz, if you're in Anastasia, love you guys. But her hometown wrestler is Rhea Ripley.
Oh, okay.
Not hometown, but close to me, Scranton, Pennsylvania, has this pretty popular band who does her entrance music. So when she came in at Mania, I was like, your home area and my home area are colliding between music and professional wrestling. So we always have that bond of the local band to us is doing the local wrestler to those entrance music.
That's insane. It also just how incredibly ginormous Motionless in White became. Like when I was first starting to play music, when I was probably like playing bands like probably 16 years old, I filled in for a buddy's band of mine who were like a little piano keyboard rock band, little indie band. They opened for Motionless in White at the Montrose movie theater. And we played in front of 35 people, and Motionless in White were the sweetest dudes. They watched all of the band's sets that night and made it a point to come up and say good job to everyone. Thanks for playing. And so I've always respected that band in that regard. They were so cool, even to every band on that show. And I always appreciated that.
Yeah. Motionless in White, Breaking Ben, Crowbot. And who's probably another, Hailstorm is another PA band, right? They all made it. Bloodhound Gang, they're PA.
Wonder Years, Title Fight.
I'm saying ones that really, really, really. I mean, the other ones are big, but these ones, I'm saying the ones who are radio time.
Fair enough,
radio.
Fair enough.
They're great bands, but I'm saying get played on the radio and everything.
Fair enough. Yeah, Breaking Ben. I forgot about that. They're
Diarrhea Jane gets a lot. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area.
Yep. Wow, that's wild.
It's crazy, right?
It really is, just in this hub.
Yeah. The Northeast, man, I just feel between because Binghamton obviously is in New York, but that's right there. Pennsylvania, it's a relatively similar drive. But it just this coal region area is just there's really nothing else to do except have an art or just go and punch a time clock and drink beer. Like that's all we have. And and if you choose not to do one and do the other, people find ways to get really good at their crafts in these small little coal region towns.
Absolutely.
Influences or role models in your life?
God, my dad. I love my dad. He's cool, I guess. He's a good mom too. We make light of everything, and we always joke around that I was always a mama's boy, and then when my mom passed, I became a daddy's girl for some reason. So, my dad, he's always been a big influence, role model. God, my fiance, I love her dearly, Miss Autumn. She inspires me very much, probably more than she realizes. And Sean, my cousin,
when he's not breaking your ribs.
Yeah. What a jerk. He got a new puppy though, so I can't even be mad at him. Oh, it's so adorable.
What kind of dog?
It's like a golden retriever, and they brought him over for Christmas, and there was like 3 dogs, and I was just rolling on the floor with them all. It was amazing.
What does your dad lie when it comes to the music side or the pro wrestling side? Is he a fan of both of them?
Loves it. He loves getting out of the house. Yeah. He always is like, I love that. He's like, I love that you do all this because it gives me reasons to leave the house and go do something.
Does he watch wrestling on his own?
Oh yeah. We watch wrestling every week together still, for sure.
Yeah. Are you a wrestling family? Are you a WWE family? AEW? Like, what are you trying to watch every week?
We watch probably AEW every week. We definitely try to watch New Japan when we can. It's also football season, so it's tough keeping up on wrestling, but none of our teams are in the playoffs, so now it's all wrestling.
Who's your teams?
I am a Tennessee Titans fan.
Okay.
And my dad is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I hate that. Your dad. Yeah. So as much as I dislike Brett, on the other side is the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's your NFL team?
I am a Washington Commanders fan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
In the heart of Pennsylvania, I support.
Yeah. Hey, it's funny. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan because growing up, my dad was a diehard Cowboys fan and my mom was a diehard Giants fan. And it always like, no, you got to pick one. I'm like, I'm staying the hell out of your guys' whole division and conference. I'm gonna go hang out in the AFC South and pick my own team. And
I love when the Titans when the Titans play the Texans and they show when they wear the Houston Oiler gear.
I love it.
Yeah, they're
our jerseys. It's like you know what I love too. In the most petty regard, the Houston Texans. You can beat the Tennessee Titans every single time they wear the Houston throwbacks, whatever. They're never going to be your jerseys. They're always going to belong to the Tennessee franchise because the Houston franchise moved to Tennessee. They were the Tennessee Oilers. That's where it lies. Go cry about it. Make your own jerseys and shut up.
Yeah, I love it. They're like, we're actually more over than you, and we're not even from this state anymore.
It's so petty. You can kick the Titans' ass every time while wearing those jerseys. You're not getting the jerseys back. It doesn't matter.
There's really more of our jerseys in your own stadium than your own. Yeah.
I love it. That's the wrestling and football.
It is. It really
is.
It's so petty.
So good.
What are some goals you have set for yourself personally or in your industries?
Oh man, this year I do screen printing. I screen print t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. And this year will be the first full year, hopefully, that I will have been doing it as my full-time line of work at home. And I really hope I can keep growing that and keep getting more and more print jobs and keep pushing myself to get better and better with that. It's such a fun thing that I'm very proud that I've been able to do. And I definitely want that business to grow because it's so much fun working from home and just hanging out with my cat, So you think to yourself, like, man, if I'm a pro wrestler and I'm in a band, what is one thing that both these industries have a demand for that they both need to make money? T-shirts. Did you cash in or what? And that honestly though, like the reason I started screen printing t-shirts and stuff, probably like 10 so years ago, I never took it as serious as I do now. But the reason that I learned, my good friend Tom Jolu taught me, is because we couldn't afford print shops. We couldn't afford to get like 50 shirt minimums and front $250, $300. We're like, all right, we can front like $100, get 10 shirts and a screen from Michaels and figure it out. And we just learned how to suck for a while, and then we got a little bit better. And here I am 10, 15 years later. I have, shop quality equipment that I use, and I'm still just crushing it from a spare bedroom shop in my house.
I love that. I love it so much. And I love the Anthony Gangone shirt. I just put him over on a recent podcast. It's a great
I love
logo.
Dr. Sleep. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah, the screen printing is definitely needed. Now, do you also do like graphic design or graphic art or anything like that?
So honestly, I typically don't do much of the graphic designing part. A lot of the times, art people have their art and their designs they want already. I do have a really talented friend of mine. His name is Jeff Blodgett. We've been friends since college, and he has lived and moved all around the country. To this day, he still sets up my artwork for me, and we've just always stayed in contact. And I'll send him a design, and he'll like, "Hey man, can you separate all these color layers and make it all good for printing?" And I was like, "Hey man, great to hear from you." Absolutely. Just sent the email over. Like, we've always just kept in touch, and I appreciate him so much, because without him, I probably wouldn't be able to get my work done nearly as fast and nearly as good a quality, because he's just always had my back. And it's almost like he's learned just to like keep up with me. And I love and appreciate him so much for that.
So what all can you make besides t-shirts? If somebody is reaching out, who's listening to this, and they're a wrestler and they need some t-shirts made, and they want to support somebody in the business, or a musician that's listening to this.
Yeah, so I've printed t-shirts, tank tops. I recently did a run of hoodies for Mike Skyros. I've done baseball tees, like the 3/4 ones for Edge of Hope. Those ones are always super cool. But yeah, I use water-based ink. I typically print on, it's always like cotton or a 50-50 blend, I believe. And yeah, pretty much anything.
Do you do hats?
So I don't have a hat clamp. There's a clamp you can get for screen printing hats, and it's like super expensive for no reason. And I'm like, I've never been able to justify paying for it yet. So that's a goal of mine this year, is to get enough screen printing jobs where I have enough extra money to get a stupid hat clamp so I can finally print hats.
Yeah. Hats, stickers and buttons and t-shirts are like the go-to. Yeah.
That's all you need. And
stickers got so fucking expensive.
I agree. I do have a couple buddies who make buttons, and I have a new friend who makes stickers. He's just started making them. So
I used to go to this website called Brand Depot, and I used to pay $65, and I would get 250 stickers for $60. And then when you ordered it, they would say, "Would you want another 250 for half price?" So for 30, they do another 250 on top of your order. You go to that website now, it's $200 for 200 stickers. It's almost $1 like you have to sell a 3-inch sticker. Like, sticker prices have tripled in price. Crap. It's cheaper to get buttons than it is stickers right now.
That's wild.
It's insane.
Oh my goodness.
I usually just get stickers and give them away. Them away.
I haven't had stickers in like a year for my band or
because they're too expensive.
Yeah, every time I go to order them, I'm like, I don't think I can splurge that much. I'm just gonna print some more t-shirts.
Yeah, like it used to be like 20 cents a sticker or 15 cents a sticker. Now it's almost like $1 a sticker. Like, it's out of control. And then the other site that used to be the most expensive became less expensive, but they also put a huge email out saying, if you don't like Trump, go fuck yourself.
What was it? Sticker Mule?
Sticker Mule, yeah.
Sticker App's a decent one. I've used them before too. Sticker App, not Sticker Mule. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, they said, and then the people who responded back to the email, like, go fuck yourself, they doxed them. They put all their information out there.
Oh my god.
That's the rumor and innuendo. Yeah,
of course. Jesus.
Was it right after Trump got shot at in Pennsylvania? That's when they did the email.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're like, we stand by. It's like,
we don't want violence, and you guys shouldn't be doing violence. I'm like, well, tell your boy to stop talking shit at press conferences. We can't control all the crazy in the world.
So you won't make my stickers of the picture of what just happened?
Yeah, I wonder how many people put orders in.
I know, that was my first thought. I'm like, oh, we could all do something really funny right now.
I guess it just depends on the angle of the shot. If it's him fist bumping with it makes him look cool, they'll print those. But
not the cowering.
I guess the "I did this" stickers won't be good when all the prices don't go up. Don't come down.
Oh my god! Absolutely.
2025 is going to be a shit show. I love it.
Sure is.
So, So when you're not screen printing, when you're not playing instruments and playing shows, and you're not pro wrestling, and you find time to be spending time with family or anything like that, what are some hobbies or interests you have that you like to unwind or do?
Whew. My fiance and I, we love playing board games, honestly.
Okay.
That's always a fun way to just kind of chill out and hang out and not really be on your phones. And definitely obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race. Love that.
Yeah, I just got into drag, like not being in it, but watching it just like the last year. And I've been interviewing drag performers.
Dude,
and it's so I've been doing it, wrestling interviews and drag interviews. Yeah. Wrestling and drag are the same fucking thing.
The same thing. Oh my God. I've been lucky enough, like my old job, I used to work a couple drag shows, and it's so much fun.
They're a blast.
It's so good. And RuPaul's Drag Race is like my favorite show in the world right now.
Who's your favorite?
Oh my God. In recent memory, I really love the season with that Willow Pill. I don't know. Am I spoiling anything for you? I don't know.
I haven't watched that far in, so I'm I started season 1.
I don't want to say winners.
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn it. All Stars.
No, you're fine.
So we just caught up with. I think we finished the last season except for the one that's on now. We won't start that one yet. But now we're doing like all the old All Stars, and oh my God, some of them are just. It's mind blowing. Like the season that has like Alaska, Detox, Roxy. I think Katya, Trixie, they're all on one. It's just
Katya and Trixie are like they are the Stone Cold and Rock of drag, right? Like
they're so good. Yes. I love Trixie and Katya, Bob and Monet.
Bob is funny. Hilarious. Katya is my favorite.
I love Maddie Morphosis, the Give It To Me Straight podcast, the one straight drag queen. I love that name, Give It To Me Straight. I think that's hysterical. But yeah, there's it's just amazing. I love it.
I didn't think I was gonna like RuPaul's Drag Race because my introduction to drag, I went to a show and I seen a drag show and I was like, oh, that's all fun. And then I was fucking around on Shudder one night because I love me, my horror and my gore and my punk and my filth. And I came across Dragula. And I don't know if you've ever watched Dragula.
No.
It is the fucking greatest thing you'll ever watch. It's punk rock, horror, special effects, makeup, just like, bro, it is fucking
I need this
awesome.
In my life.
Oh my God. It'll ruin drag for you. Like it'll ruin drag because it's like they have like the season finale is you have to fit the category. So there's 3 performers you have to do where you either do horror, filth, or punk. And when they do filth, they get filthy, like Gigi Allen level shit.
Okay. I see where this is heading now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's the greatest show.
Oh my God. I remember,
and it's so cheesy horror too. Like the hosts of the show do these little vignettes of like old school horror, and then when you get voted off the show, they kill you off the show. They film a murder scene where you get killed off.
So good.
It's great.
Oh my God. All right, I still might have to check this out.
Yeah, you're gonna message me and be like, thank you, you saved my life.
Literally. Oh my God. That sounds incredible, honestly.
So one of my goals for 2025 is I want to put a music, wrestling, drag show together.
Please do it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That would be
amazing.
Yeah, but I want a no ring show. I want it. So HTW's been doing these no ring shows where it's like band plays on the stage, everyone's in the pit. Pit opens up, wrestling match in the pit. Pit closes, band plays again.
That usually happens at my band shows anyway.
Yeah, so pit opens up, wrestling match happens, drag queen starts on the stage, enters the pit, does the crowd work, band goes back. Like, just rotate that through the whole night.
I love it.
How sick would that be?
I go for it. Please do it.
I'll make sure to hit up Second Suitor. We'll get you for rates. We need you on that show. You could wrestle. We're gonna get you to wrestle. Drag.
I'm doing all 3. I'm doing all 3. I don't even care. I'm doing all 3. You got it. Absolutely.
Do you know J.S. Hawthorne?
The name sounds very familiar. I think so.
Was just recently the 3 Legacies champion. Very red beard, redder hair, stocky dude. So they do drag and wrestling at this. They do that as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Their drag name is Shirley Joking. Or Shirley Joe King. Yeah.
Shirley Joe King.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And they're amazing at both. Like they're unbelievable. Man. Yeah. Dragon wrestling. It's such a good combination.
It's all the same thing.
So when you guys play board games, what are you playing? What are you into?
Ooh, let's see. One of our favorites for sure is Ticket to Ride. That one's always fun. Catan, if we have other people to play with. Oh God, what did we just got some cool ones for Christmas too. What did we get? I
watched this couple on TikTok that play games with each other all the time.
We get those games. Yeah, we got one of those games. This one's super fun. It's super frustrating. Orbido. That's that. Yep, that one. The table I'm at right now is just covered in board. I'm not even joking. We haven't put any of them. It's been all sitting here for way too long. I need a new shelf out in this room to get all of our board games.
Are you like a board game night couple where you invite people over and have like game nights?
No, we usually just play by ourselves because we're two introverts at heart.
That's fair.
But we will go. She has friends who do board game nights, and we'll go occasionally, and we'll go play with some other people. And those ones are always fun too, honestly. But
me and my ex were like that too. We'd play games, and then we'd go out and play with other people, and it would just become toxic as fuck because we're like out to kill everybody because we were super competitive, especially like movie trivia ones. We'd just be staring at each other like, "You're fucking dead." Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. That's so good. Words of encouragement you would give to someone who's chasing their dream.
Chase your dream because it's what you want and not to be cool, not because it's what other people think is cool or whatever. Be genuine, be real. Just believe in yourself. Fuck what anyone else says. Even if you're old and you don't think you have the possibility of making it. It's better to try and to fail than to never try at all. And just keep fucking doing it. Honestly, do it because you love it. And if that's not good enough at the end of the day, then you might want to rethink why you're doing it to begin with.
Absolutely. And another one here. What are you grateful for? And are you currently happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Pretty happy. I'm grateful that I just got over this sickness all weekend. That's pretty cool. But no, I'm grateful for another year of being alive, another year of opportunities to hopefully kill it in the music world, the wrestling world, the screen printing world.
Soon to be drag. We're going to get into
soon
drag.
To be drag world. I always joke with my fiance that a goal of mine is to be a pit crew member at some point. So I want my band to get big enough to where like I can have have a tech guy to do bring me another guitar, but it's just a pit crew member and just pit crew. That's just the dream. But yeah, grateful for life opportunities.
Real quick, more pro wrestlers should have drag valets. We need that more in wrestling.
Oh, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. I love it. Absolutely.
Polo Del Mar is the only one I know right now that does it. And NWA. Yeah, we need more.
We do. I agree.
That's awesome. Where can people find and support you music wise, wrestling wise?
Yeah, so I have a band called Second Suitor. We have all of our music available on Spotify. And if Spotify or other streaming services aren't your cup of tea, we do have Bandcamp. All our music is name your own price on Bandcamp.
I love that.
Yeah, so I just feel like music should always be accessible for anybody who wants to enjoy music. And if you'd like to pay for it, wonderful. If not, wonderful. We just want you to have it and enjoy it. Hopefully come out to a show or something sometime. Other than that, you can follow me on Instagram. I think my name is @Tyler@Letico or something like that. And you can always message me about t-shirts there. I usually post my wrestling dates and flyers and band shows and clips of my fiance and pictures of my cat.
Love that. If people that want to check out the band, what would you say you're inspired by? I know you said this band kind of sounds like Green Day. Like what would you say is your tone or your style of your band?
Yeah, I'd say definitely probably like a Green Day, maybe like some MXPX, Say Anything kind of vibes in there too. A little weird, funky stuff, that weird punk stuff. Some emo influence,
The band I'm obsessed with right now And it's solely because of pro wrestling too, because they're so pro wrestling. You ever listen to Ghost?
Ghost, yeah. I've not listened to them extensively, but I
my
I
god,
know
the whole backstory and the guy, just the way the guy's like, he creates everything himself and then hires other instruments, and then like he plays a character but then changes the character and it's a new character but it's still the same guy, just a different mask. I have all the Ghost stuff back. I'm obsessed. I fucking love it. Yeah, they're so good. I love it. They're awesome. The best. Yeah, I love music, wrestling, everything like that is so good. Tyler, I really appreciate you doing this. We got to do more. I know starting in the new year, I want to start doing more when it comes to other branches of content that I do, like the Not Cool in High School. And if there's ever an album you want to review with me or a movie or something like that, let's collaborate again and do more of these. I'm really rooting for you, man. You're such a good kid. Sir. And I want to definitely come out and support you more on the wrestling and on the music side of things. So
I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been so much fun. I didn't even realize what time it was. I'm like, holy crap, it's been this long already. But seriously, it's been nice just catching up and hanging out, man. Seriously.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you so much. People out there, please reach out to him, book his band. You will not be disappointed. He is such a lovely young man, and he's going to come out and he's going to work his ass off and perform and give you everything you want and then more. And if you need screen printing stuff, hit him up and make him a lot of money so he can make hats too. All right. Yeah, that'll do it for the ABJ podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Here's some music. Oh, real quick, Ruta Entertainment. Plug it up top, Ruta Entertainment. If you want to be a champion yourself, but you don't want to break your neck, you can dream it. You can make it. He'll do it for you. I am your TWF YouTube Intercontinental Champion because I'm that work rate, right? And I'm also your Tornado Tag Champion back there for the podcast. Also hit up the High Tension Wrestling Network. Watch a bunch of great people doing their art, professional wrestling. My podcast is also available on there to watch. Help them hit their watch hours. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support and sponsor this podcast. We'll see you guys in the next time. Here's some music by the Converse Kid. Go follow him too. He's amazing. See you guys next time. We're out of here.